Good evening and a big hello if you're watching this back on replay. I am going to be sharing with you a little bit around trusting that things are going to get better. So this may show up for you in many different areas of your life. This could be in a relationship. I'm going to share a little story about that actually at the end. It might be in career. I'm going to share something very personal with you that may help. It might be in your health, it might be in finances, it might be in your career or if you run your own business. But a huge thing of doing a U-turn in your life or starting on a new, let's call it a positive path, is trusting that wherever you are on your journey, things can and things will get better. So stay with us because I'm going to share some really cool little tips with you and also some stories. So, let's be honest, trusting when things are out of your control can feel pretty uncomfortable. It can be hard at times to just, when people say trust the process, just let go. We all hear it. I'm a big preacher of it, but there are practical steps and actual mindset choices that you can make to really support this. So I'm going to say I get that it can sound hard. I can get that it can sound difficult. How do I just trust when things are rubbish right now? How can I be in so much pain and just trust that my health is going to improve? I hate my relationship. I've been wanting to leave for years. How can I trust that the next man or woman I attract isn't going to be the same? Job, finances, exactly the same. So here's the thing, when you try to control the uncontrollable, you get hit back with resistance. And I want you to really take this away with you. If there's one thing from this live, this is one of them. You can't control the uncontrollable. Choose your battles wisely is what I'm saying here. Because if you're wanting to trust that things are going to be okay, but you are trying to control and manipulate and make sure things and keep things really close to you or hide underneath your duvet, you are trying your best to control. And when you're doing that, that is the complete opposite to trusting and releasing control and energy. So that I'm going to say, when I first heard, I don't know if it was from somebody else or I just said it myself, but you can't control the uncontrollable. There were so many different areas of my life where I was like, holy crap, I'm trying to control something that I can't control. I'm not going to win at this. It's going to feel awkward. I'm going to feel resistance, and I'm probably going to feel very stressed and anxious whilst doing so. So think, if you are trying to control something, this might be a person. If you are trying to control someone out of or trust and control like that, and it's somebody outside of yourself, you can't physically control that. Job, sometimes you just can't control. So what you can control is you. You can control your emotions, your circumstances, your approach, your perception, are you reacting or responding in a relationship? The exact same as what I've just said there. Pick it up. Health, you can control you. You can change and control you in your career. So that's incredibly empowering. And when I think back, I was just about to do this live and I was like, where have I really had to lean in and trust the process? One of the big ones that came to me was actually in a previous company that I built. And I was running it alongside somebody else. We were running it together. We grew it together. And it was very exciting. It was fantastic. And I loved it. But there came a point where things started to feel misaligned. Things started to feel, there was, when you just have that niggle that something isn't quite right. I felt a little bit dare I say, like trapped in what I was doing, and there was just a few things that just didn't feel right. So I kept trying to change things. I kept trying to make things better. I kept pushing and pushing and pushing because I couldn't ever see how things would ever be different in the future. So I was trying so hard to change, manipulate in a good way, and just kept trying to plow as much as I could into this thing that my gut was telling me isn't right. And in the end, it took the biggest leap of faith to step away from that, start completely from scratch with all that I had invested physically, financially, energetically, emotionally, everything. And what I realized is when it comes to trusting the process, trusting that things are going to be okay in the end, it's a choice, and it's quite a quick choice. And here's the thing, because if right now you're sat there and you're like, I feel like I don't know what's around the corner, I just can't trust that things are going to be okay, or how do I know that things are going to be okay in the future if I change this? If you're not trusting, that's a choice. So I want you to really think about this and apply it into somewhere in your life. What is it you would love to change in your future, or what is it that just doesn't feel right for you but you can't see any other way? If you aren't able to believe that something is better for you around the corner, or that you could just trust the process and just let go and try the business, change career, leave the relationship or start the new relationship, work on swiping off your debt, like whatever that is, you're choosing not to trust. So that's empowering. However much you are plowing your energy into, I don't know if things are going to be okay, that's a choice you are making to choose not to trust that things aren't going to be okay. If you were to put the exact same choice and energy into, do you know what, I'm going to trust that things are going to be okay, and to some degree you just let go of the outcome, focus on the here and now, and put that same belief and energy that you have into not knowing if things are going to be okay, and actually start thinking things may be okay. What if? Explore the possibilities, and by doing that, that is where, and we're going to come on to this on one of the last points now, is a huge part of this, and this was a big turning point for me, was actually understanding the law of attraction and manifestation. Because I realized the longer I was staying unhappy in this business that I had built, the more of that I was going to attract, the more of that I was going to experience. It was a day-to-day thing. I was riddled with anxiety on a daily basis, trying to make it work. And then I realized if I was putting all my energy into that, something that doesn't feel aligned, what is the energy I'm injecting into it? It was trying, it was hoping, it was, I'm not happy and I'm just going to kind of make do. I attracted more of that. I attracted more of just making do with things, circumstances that were coming up that were just not good. And the moment I said, okay, I'm going to trust that even though I have no idea what else I would do because that was all I knew, somehow the ideas are going to come to me just as they did before. Somehow the right people are going to be attracted to me. Somehow I can grow a new audience. I can meet new people. I can start again. I also did the same in relationships. I've done the same in friendships, careers in the past. And it was that decision that then injected a whole new lease of life into the unknown. Now, I know the unknown can sound scary. I know the unknown can feel uncertain. But if you choose, and it's a conscious thought, to simply think, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to trust the process and I'm going to enjoy the journey. When you inject that element into the law of attraction of I don't know, but I'm going to enjoy it. I don't know, but I'm going to discover. I don't know, but I'm going to grow and do whatever it takes to find what's next, to discover and grow. The right people, the right places, circumstances, like magic, are drawn to the you that trusted. Now, here is the biggest thing that I'm going to share with you to take away. When you do trust that things can get better, when you do start trusting the process, you evolve. That simple decision evolves you into a more resilient being. It evolves you into someone who can let go of control and the right things that are an energetic match for you manifest to you, and it takes you to that next level. I genuinely believe we have to grow through experiences, people, nasty things sometimes in life. I certainly have been through my own absolutely crazy things. Holy hell, am I so grateful. Which brings us on to our final point for today. Gratitude. If you are sat there now and you're like, Caroline, you have no idea what I'm going through. How am I ever meant to just trust the process? I promise you, the exact same principle works no matter what the circumstance. Something that makes it a quicker process, something that makes it, dare I say, easier and actually supports you in bringing in, manifesting in more of what is aligned to you, is gratitude. If you can start, even if right now you're like, I am a million miles away from where I want to be. I just cannot see how I could trust the process or just trust that things are going to be okay. More than anyone, I'm going to recommend that you start recognizing what you're grateful for, not just today, not just tomorrow and Wednesday and then, I'll try it again on Sunday and it didn't work for me. This is something that is such a powerful practice. If you begin to think what you're grateful for here, even if shit is hitting the fan, even if you are feeling like you have no way out of whatever is going on, even if you are at rock bottom, if you can start to think, but you know what? I've got a roof over my head and right now my heating is working. Or I don't know how I'm gonna feed myself tomorrow, but right now I've managed to do this. Or if you are watching this, you are tuning in on Wi-Fi. You have Wi-Fi, you have a device, whatever you're watching it from. Be so grateful for that because, and this isn't, I'm not going preachy with it, I'm trying to put it into a different perspective. But if you are looking at, I don't even know what the population is in the world that don't have access to the technology that we have, that don't have the ability to call for help, to invest in a coach, to join a program, to be able to speak to a boss, who are unemployed and are living on the streets, or who are newly unemployed but have a huge mortgage to look after. It isn't just one end of the scale. Think about what you can be grateful for right now. And this is why it's so powerful, because we hear it, don't we, all the time. Gratitude, it's so good for you. Practice gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. This is why it's so powerful. So if you can be grateful for what you've got here, what does that do? Gratitude naturally raises your vibration. It raises your set point. And bear with me when I say set point, but let's see, you're on frequency. And naturally, if you really were to sit down and just write down 3 to 5 things that you feel grateful for, you will naturally feel better. If you're questioning this, if you're new to this, please do it and see for yourself. But you are upping your set point, and this is your point of attraction. This is your manifestation point. If you can raise that up, even if this shit's hitting the fan, Even if your boss is pulling you in saying redundancies are on the card, I'm so grateful that I've had this job for however many years. I'm so grateful that I've got to meet the people. I'm so grateful that I've got to experience this and learn from it. I'm so great. Guess who would be the one that keeps their job? Or guess who would be the one who gets released but gets a good pay packet? Or guess who would be the one who would then manifest their ideal next job? It's the person who can be grateful for in the moment despite the chaos that goes on around them. So if you picture that when you start to just trust that everything's going to be okay, boom, your set point instantly rises. Then whatever you want to bring into your life that is aligned with what you are thinking on that higher vibration, in that better energy, you're going to bring more of that in. For some, it's immediate. Literally, the phone will ring, an email will pop up, someone will send you a link saying blah blah is hiring, or oh my god, that guy that I was with was my husband's friend, and when we bumped into you in town, he thought you looked hot. Like the text, the whatever will come in for some if they are an exact alignment, even in the crap circumstances. If what you want is on that frequency, this is where the manifestation law of attraction comes in, you are able to then trust and things, and you're like, I just trusted. And I just like, I don't know how, I don't know why, but things just seem to be getting a little better. Or it was totally by, what do people call it? I've like eliminated this word from my brain. Coincidence. It was such a coincidence. My friend just messaged me and said their place is hiring. Or it's such a coincidence, I bumped into my friend in town and her husband's brother was there with her and he's hot. Or such a coincidence, I just got a tax rebate. Such a coincidence, a new client just came in when I was wondering how I'm going to pay for phone bill. Like, those coincidences start aligning. If you are down in the dumps and you're like, I don't know how things are going to get better, this sucks. You're doing this and this. And you can't see, you can't feel, you can't hear. Whereas when you practice gratitude, you're going, not ideal, but do you know what? I've got my health. Do you know what? I've got my kids. My car, not the best car, but it's ticking over, it's okay. It's going to allow you to begin to bring in more of that stuff. And it's also evidencing that you are releasing and you are trusting the process. So, yeah, I'm just having a quick, because I just made some notes. Not trusting is a choice. Yes, we have covered it all. And I think the very last thing would be a client that I once worked with came to me after going through a incredibly tough divorce. Like, very, very tough divorce. That just doesn't even give it justice, but it was very hard to hear, in fact, and she lost everything and was left with a lot of debt and even lost her dog. And it was tough. It was really, really tough for her. And there was a big part of her recognizing, do you know what? Can't get any worse. This is it. And for some people, that could be a divorce, losing everything. That's where they're like, do you know what? Can't get any worse. I'm just gonna have to trust. I've got no other choice. For some, that might be my holidays got cancelled and I've now got to find somewhere else. It's a bloody nightmare, and this isn't belittling or getting rid of the importance of that, because for some that might be their life savings on this holiday. It's very, very important. And they're like, do you know what? I don't know what, but I'm gonna have to just trust that it's gonna be okay. We're gonna find an alternative, and that is what I'm gonna have to do. It can't get any worse than this. Our holiday's been cancelled. So it isn't about reaching a particular rock bottom. It is about you actually drawing a line in the sand and saying, do you know what? This isn't great, can't get any worse than this, so I'm going to choose to trust. I'm going to choose to be grateful for what I can in the moment. And I put my hand on my heart and will promise you things will get better. Circumstances, coincidences start to happen. You become aligned to your true self. You begin to bring in more of that. And I can wholeheartedly say, when I let go of that business that was just not serving me anymore. On the outside, it looked fantastic. It had so much scope and I loved it, but it just wasn't right. And that took me down the road of doing the Warrior stuff. That birthed an entire multiple of ideas, the books that have come off the back of it, the bands that have come off the back of it, that are drying out in the bathroom currently after bathing the boys, the programs, the school programs, the corporate webinars, the YouTube channel, this group. There is 800 beautiful, magical souls in this group. And had I have stayed stuck and not trusted that somehow things are gonna be okay, I would not have been able to take my maternity self-employed. I would have been, I just know. I was so anxious. In fact, I wasn't able to get pregnant when I was going through that. And now look. So part of that trusting that things will get better is recognizing that if you're currently not trusting, that's a choice. Choose again. And on that note, I will love you and leave you and wish you a magical week ahead. I hope you've had a wonderful Easter. I've just kind of taken a little step back this weekend and just been really involved with the boys and Carl being off, and I've just been watching everyone's posts and it's been lovely. So sending you so much love if you are watching this live, if you're watching this back on replay and we haven't yet connected, head over to the Awaken the Warrior group, drop me a message, drop me an email, it'd be lovely to connect. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye bye.